Let's talk about it. Episode 2.
Episode 2, shipping your car. This, I think, can be frustrating because normally you have to drive somewhere. You know, like when we came here, we were stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado, and we had to drive, well, by we, I mean my husband, had to drive to Texas, and then he had to fly back.
Yeah, we drove to Texas too.
Yeah, so that can be somewhat challenging. There's not always a VPC, Vehicle Processing Center. Military loves their acronyms. We actually have a whole video on that coming soon. So VPCs are not everywhere. They're just in certain like key cities around the U.S. So depending on where you're stationed, you have to drive to the closest processing center. Once you're there, though, it's pretty easy. You do need your orders, you need your insurance, your driver's license. The vehicle does need to be cleaned inside and out, so take it through a car wash, vacuum it. And also, you only can have 1/8 a tank of gas or less, which is really
hard for
most
us.
people don't want to get that low on gas, you know, so we're kind of always taught like, hey, if you have a half tanker, you know, you should fill up.
Is it a 4th or an 8th?
It's an 8th.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's an 8th a tank.
Oh my gosh, it's been a while since we've done it.
Yeah, it's, and it's not just for the military because we shipped one car through the military and then we drove our other 2 cars to California and we shipped them out of pocket. So nice segue. If you're going to ship cars out of pocket, we used Hawaii Car Transport, and I have no complaints. We had never shipped a vehicle privately before. We had always just done the military, letting them do it. But the military will only ship one car, which
on the cost of the government,
I think is a flaw in the plan because you know most military families is a husband and a wife or 2 adult drivers, and you normally have 2 cars, but the military will only pay to ship one. And so we drove our 2 to California and used a private company to ship it. It was about $1,250 a vehicle, which
that's not bad at all.
I thought was really reasonable, having never done it before. I didn't know what to expect. But it was the same rules for them as when you ship it through the military. So 1/8 a tank of gas, clean inside and out, same documents needed. It took about 3 weeks from California to get our car here in Hawaii.
That's not bad at all.
For my husband's car that he did ship from Texas, it was about 4 weeks. Just, you know, you got to go around more. But other than that, you just check the car in. They do like a walk around, kind of like when you rent a car. They kind of do that little inspection and they mark all the nicks. And the one in California was actually really fancy. They drive you through a machine and it has like a fancy camera that goes around the car. I know. It was very, like we were just sitting in the car like, okay. And it marks all the little dings and dents and stuff like that. So
sounds very fancy.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then once your car is here in Hawaii, then you'll get an email saying, hey, your vehicle's here. And you can track it. Like it had a little tracking feature and you can kind of keep an eye on it as it's coming. And then once it's here, you can set up an appointment with the VPC here. There's actually 2 on the island.
There's one in Honolulu, I know that.
And there's one on Sand Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there are 2. And then they'll call you, you schedule a day and time to come pick it up. And then that's it. It's pretty easy. The most inconvenient thing is just driving it and then having to fly back to your duty station.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you ship it early and you only have 1 car, then you're stuck with the inconvenience of
only having 1 car.
Yeah, you don't have a car, so that's kind of something you have to work out. But
one thing that I remember that we were able to do, which was really helpful for us, is we were able to do it online on PCS My POV. So PCSMyPOV.com. We were able to just book our reservation, and obviously with Kendra, what she said, you have the documents, you know, supporting and everything, but you can actually book that in advance without technically having your orders, but you need them, you know, at the time of shipping out your vehicle. So that was really nice. It kind of, I'm a planner, so it gave me a heads up.
Most military spouses are planners. I mean, look, I talked to Jenna for 9 months.
Oh, I don't know.
Before you even got here.
August until January. So
I mean, I start talking to people, you know, pretty far in advance to help with all this stuff because we as military spouses do tend to be planners and want all of our ducks in a row, especially with such a big move.
We need some sort of what's it called, evenness in all of the craziness.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like a control thing. Like we can plan it, we can control it. When you use that website, do you remember if you were able to upload documents so they had them, or did you just bring everything in person still?
I think you still brought everything in person, yeah. For us personally, we didn't have our orders, so they just told us, hey, these are the documents that you need. Make sure you have them at the time of arrival so that you can ship your stuff. But we just did that with our most recent one. We scheduled it for December 19th, actually. Yeah. And we were able to have that all figured out. So yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
All right, guys,
Check
you
it
know
out.
the drill by now. Questions, thoughts, comments,
Comment below.
yeah, comment below. I'm here to answer anything. If you want the full packet that has all the PCS information in it, go ahead and private message me. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.